This is Archie. I adopted him from my local Humane Society in 2018 after he had been in the shelter for over a month. He was 11 years old and recently had his left eye removed because of an ulcer. He had the biggest attitude and the funniest personality. I like to think that I gave him a really good retirement. A few weeks ago, I found these slippers for $12 online and I thought, hey, maybe I can turn these into two little Archies. After a few weeks, the slippers arrived in the mail. They were a bit flat from being in an envelope for so long, so I stuffed them with some leftover packing paper from another package and set them to the side for a bit. The first thing I needed to do was remove the eyes. The eyes were hot glued onto the shoes instead of secured into the head, which made things a lot easier for me. On my first attempt, I tried to remove the eyes with a pair of pliers, but that didn't really work. So I ended up just cutting them off with my sewing scissors. This left a little bit of interfacing in the eyes place. I repeated the cutting part of the process on the second shoe. It came off quicker, but I ended up cutting a hole into the shoe, but that's okay. That actually made the next step easier for that specific shoe. The next step was to close up the eye area. I decided to do a blind stitch and then go over the top of that with a few stitches in black thread to emulate Archie's signature wink. I tried to mark where I was sewing on the first shoe with a pencil, but it didn't show up, so I used a marker. But I didn't need to do that at all because the interfacing was too stiff and my attempt at a blind stitch didn't work either. So I set that one to the side and started on the slipper that had the hole. For those who don't sew, a blind stitch is used to seal up openings in a more polished way, for example, closing up a pillow after stuffing it. I'll include a diagram because I don't know how to explain it very well, but because there was a hole where the eye was, it was really easy. Threaded my needle again and just stitched over the top of it over and over and over again. And then it was good. I went back to the first shoe and cut out the interfacing entirely, and then I just repeated what I did on the other side. After that, I gave them a little haircut so the stitches were more noticeable. And then they were all done. Overall, I think these turned out pretty cute, and I get to think of Archie every time I see them. We've got some other DIY projects planned if you want to stick around and subscribe. Tentatively, I'm thinking of uploading on Mondays, but honestly, who knows? Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.